achieve.
All right, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Studio de Jefre. Remember, every day in the comments, leave what you want to talk about for the next day, or maybe tonight. May have time for a video tonight. And make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube page. And, turn on the notifications. Check 1053thefan.com every day. And you're living your best life if you're doing that. Two topics to do today because I got a lot of comments about the same position for the Cowboys. So we will talk about the Cowboys cornerback position and where you might go to look for help for that. But I want to start off with the age-old debate. Analytics versus football guy. By the way, analytics will win. It did in basketball. It did in baseball. It's going to win everywhere. But I shouldn't even start that way. See, I started like I had a dog in the hunt. Football guy who has no room for analytics will lose. I'll put it that way. I'm comfortable with that way. So why is this coming up today? Well, because yesterday, Chris Mortensen at Mort Report on the Tweeter, he tweeted out what the great Ron Wolf had to say about analytics. And I have a lot of respect for Ron Wolf through proxy because he kind of taught Brian Broaddus. And so if you taught the guy who taught me, you must be a badass, Ron Wolf. So I love you. But here's what Ron Wolf had to say because his son Elliot Wolf got let go by the Browns. He says that Ron Wolf said the Cleveland Browns and others who embrace an analytics-driven model are, quote, out of control. When something goes wrong, who takes responsibility? Their answer? Well, that's what the data told us. What a crock. That's what got them to 1-31, which is a reference to the Hugh Jackson 2-year run of 0-16 and 1-15. So, who's right? People who are data-driven or people who are, quote, football guy? I'm both. So let me offer you this opinion. First, I would point out that what Ron Wolf is talking about is the teams that were coached by Hugh Jackson, which, yeah, the Browns were invested in analytics, but they were basically the team that decided, yeah, our analytics are we're going to tank. And we're going to get better players. Now, you don't automatically get better players. You still have to pick them. And you don't automatically get a good head coach. You have to pick them. What happened with the Hugh Jackson hire? Their data-driven process of figuring out who was going to be their next head coach led them to Sean McDermott. They didn't hire Sean McDermott. Why not? It's not what the Haslams felt like doing. They liked Hugh Jackson. Their data didn't tell them to hire Hugh Jackson. Haslams decided to hire Hugh Jackson. So the Browns are dysfunctional from the very top. And some people would say the same in different ways about the Dallas Cowboys, and that's fine. It's for another day. Like, that's just dysfunction. That's not the data failing you. That's not analytics failing you. That's people failing you. So when we try to figure out who's right, here's the way I'll draw this out, because I'll do examples for both sides of this. If you're a coach, let's say you're a coach, you've been coaching football for a long time, you know football inside and out. Let's just say you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're the coach of the Cowboys and it's 3rd and 1. It's 3rd and 1, and for the season, on 3rd and 1, you've run the ball 15 times, you've converted 12 times. It's 80%. It's pretty good. You've thrown the ball 12 times on 3rd and 1, and you've only converted 6 times. It's 50% of the time. So when you run it, and this is inside your own team, 80% of the time you make it. When you pass it, 50% of the time you make it. Do you want that information? Yeah. It's analytics. If you don't want that information, why? I think the biggest problem is that people don't like the word. And I think most people who would say that analytics are dumb or whatever, I think most of those people just don't understand them. Or they fear them for some reason. Because analytics can be anything. We're not playing your football game on a computer. Let's go back to what I just said. It's 3rd and 1. 80% of the time when your team has run it on 3rd and 1, you've converted. And we could break that down by formation and personnel package if you want, just to give you more information, if you want it. Does that mean that I better call a run play on 3rd and 1? No. No. There's plenty of room for football guy to say, yep, I know those numbers. But also, we're late in the 3rd quarter in a close game, and I've been running on 3rd and short, and I've been setting this up. And I know what the numbers say, but I also have a play ready. And my play, this play action, is going to pull these linebackers down, and we're going to score 7 points. And we've been building up to this moment. We've been getting ready for this moment all game. That's awesome. Score your touchdown. You don't have to be a servant to the numbers. Well, in this situation, on 1st down, we're more successful when we throw than when we pass, so let's throw it on every single 1st down. No, not at all. That's not how it works. It's just information. Now, the other side of that coin, because I'm also a football guy. I'm tape guy. I love watching tape. Been doing draft study for, 6 or 7 years now with our buddy Brian Broaddus. I want to take you back to the 2017 NFL draft. We're watching tape of Iowa's defense. There's a guy named Desmond King that plays cornerback for Iowa. We'd also watched him the year before, thinking he might declare as a junior, but he didn't. He came back for his senior year. So we're watching him again. We already know this guy. We've already seen an entire year of film on this guy. He's a badass. I mean, tough as nails, can cover, ball skills, forces fumbles. He's a badass. Look around, you say, okay, that's probably a 1st-round guy. That's probably a 1st-round corner right there. The NFL Combine happens. At the NFL Combine, Desmond King measures 5.097. What does that mean? 5 foot, 9 inches, and 7/8 of an inch. He ain't 5'10". Arms, less than 32 inches long. NFL teams don't like that. 40 time, 4.60. So now we have a small, short-armed corner who's not as fast as people want corners to be. What happens to that 1st-round tape? Desmond King gets picked in the 5th round. In his 1st year, he's a starter, and he's good. In his 2nd year, he's an all-pro with the Chargers, who used a 5th-round pick on a corner who was too small and too slow. Why did that happen? Analytics. Because teams have a history. Teams look at, give me the history of corners who run a 4.6, and the list of ones that are good is short. I should have acknowledged that probably more with Tease Tabor coming out of Florida. I liked him. Thought he could play. Ran real slow at the combine. Most slow corners don't make it. Teams factor that in. So some might say, we're just not going to take one because we're going to avoid that risk. We're going to pick the physical profile that has a much better track record of success. But do I want the guy in the room? Would I have wanted me or Broaddus in the room if I'm the Cowboys when it's the 4th round to raise your hand and be like, guys, Desmond King? Well, he doesn't fit the profile, not a safe pick. I'm not asking you to make a safe pick. I'm asking you to pick a football player. And here's why. He can cover. He's tough as nails. He tackles. He can return punts. That's a starting NFL player. Yeah, but he's a little bit it's the 4th round. We're in the 4th round, and I'm telling you that is a starter in the NFL. We're in the 4th round. I would want that guy in the room to fight for my players, to fight for how we're going to build this team. So the analytics versus football guy thing, there will not be a winner. There will be a loser. The loser will be football guy who has no place for data. That will be the loser. Football guy who's accepting of information and wants to cater it in a way that is the most useful and know when to use it and when to ignore it, he'll be fine. But football guy who's got no place for it, he ain't going to make it. The next group of questions, I got a group of questions for the video, and you know what? I'm just going to hold it and either do it this evening or a separate one, because I don't want you to have to be staring at this screen all day. But I had multiple people ask me about cornerbacks, the Cowboys situation, and where would be a good place to draft them. And I think that's a great idea for a video. So I'll either do that later on today or tonight, and just leave in the comments whatever it is that you want to talk about, whether it's Cowboy related, whether it's draft related, whatever it is. And I'll be all over it. Just leave that right there in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page and check in 1053thefan.com every day. I'll catch you guys on the radio.